A thread by Brian Cates. We'll be doing a live stream during which I will be discussing his latest column at conservative Treehouse, in which Sundance discusses how he quote-unquote briefed top Durham investigator Bill Aldenberg on the James Wolfe case. Going live in a few. Link in the thread and link to the thread in the description. Check out the live stream. It's going to be important. But moving on, Brian posts these tweets from The Last Refuge 2, aka Sundance. As a result of this week's final discussions, on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, conservative Treehouse will likely be very quiet as these details are worked out. Friday night, if no action has been taken by the DOJ or Attorney General Bill Barr, I will release the name of Durham's #1, investigator. Then on Saturday, that name will go public, and then we go quickly right to phase 2. All right, so I don't know the date on this one, but I think it was before, a while back. The last Treehouse on August 13th, so, about 10 days ago, tweeted, "John Durham is a head fake. Soon all will see there is no John Durham investigation." And then on August 13th, same day, somebody responds to Sundance, The Last Refuge 2. "So what then? You threatened to out a non-existent investigator by Friday if no progress was made? Received a call from someone, now say there is no Durham case? Okay, so start releasing your phase 2 then. Let it rip." And then Sundance responds, "Doesn't work like that. I said will be revealed to media Friday and public Saturday. That person asked for more time with proposal for next Tuesday. I said no. Friday it is, then Saturday. Deal with it." This guy's a freaking psycho. And then tweets on the same day, "Durham is the shiny thing to keep everyone distracted and looking in the wrong place. The real investigation has nothing Durham attached to it. You can debate the Barr strategy later on. I care not." Brian responds, "While criminal investigations are underway, indictments against fellow criminal conspirators remain sealed. No federal investigator or prosecutor is going to, quote, discuss the evidence a cooperating defendant gave them." That I have to explain this is very painful. Sundance's entire premise is that both Wolfe and Kleinsmith were immediately handed sweetheart deals, not for their cooperation against other defendants, but instead to make sure they kept their mouths shut. Let me explain to you how this actually works. Until a federal criminal investigation is completely over and all the indictments have been unsealed and all of the plea deals have been reached or the trials have reached their conclusions, no details about what the cooperating defendants did to get their plea deals go public. Now, you may not like that this is how the federal justice system operates, but hey, there are plenty of things in the real world that remain exactly as they are because they don't take your likes or dislikes into consideration. Sundance is assuming James Wolfe didn't cooperate to get that deal. That assumption appears to be based on the idea that if Wolfe had gotten a deal for cooperating, details about what evidence or fellow conspirators he gave up would have become public by now. He goes on to assume that despite the serious national security issues raised by the Wolfe case involving the leaking of classified information, there are no other investigations related to that underway because if there was, the DOJ would have announced them. Yes, as we all know, when the DOJ undertakes a highly sensitive criminal investigation involving multiple national security issues, the first thing they do is call a press conference and let the media and the public know all about it. That is absurd. Look at the Kleinsmith plea deal. He gave the prosecutors shared any of the details about exactly who or what Klein-Smith gave up to get that deal? No. Well, why not? Where's the harm? Smiley face. They should all tell us right now, darn it. Again, that is absurd. None of the other indictments have been unsealed yet, several of which are tied to the exact same, quote, hide the CIA connection to Carter Page from the FISA court issue for which Klein-Smith was convicted. Anybody who thinks that DOJ needs to go public with details of plea agreements given to cooperating defendants while the other cases are still ongoing and indictments haven't even been unsealed yet either doesn't know how this works or they do know and they are messing with you. It wasn't until years later we found out what the cooperating defendants in that famous 5 mafia families case in New York City gave up to get their plea deals after it was all over. It will be the same way here. So anybody saying if a federal prosecutor doesn't say at the time a cooperating defendant in a criminal case is given a deal that we gave this guy a sweetheart deal because he gave up X, Y, and Z in exchange for this deal, that means they got the deal to keep their mouth shut. They either don't know how this actually works or they are pretending they don't know how this works. The second is far worse than the first. I'll forgive ignorance. Malevolence? Never. Addendum. This actually makes more sense than Sundance tracking down Aldenberg, getting him to sit for an interview that turned into a briefing and then some kind of contractual relationship. From a top chat, Sundance wasn't the one interviewing. He was being contacted and questioned if he'd received any political leaks. He wrote it as though he got an interview with Mr. Aldenberg as a journalist. Thanks for listening, and remember, Planet Fitness likes to abuse the civil rights of the disabled.